So the purpose of the Ballarat trip is to prepare our young people for their overseas trip. In this case, it was Singapore. A lot of our young people have spent extensive time away from schooling in the past when they've attended traditional educational settings. And we know part of what they miss out on is opportunities to go and experience things like excursions and, in particular, overseas trips. We know the importance of exposure to other cultures and experiences that can really harbour lifelong curiosity. So the Ballarat trip is a stepping stone to achieving that. Part of the Ballarat trip is attending Sovereign Hill, and that's a really important part of replicating what some of the activities and days will be like when we're in Singapore. They're long days. They sometimes are really action-packed and fast-moving, but other times they're a bit slower and different people want to do different things. Sovereign Hill offers different activities that some people find really interesting, whilst maybe another member of the group is finding it slightly slower and maybe not as interesting. And how we navigate that as a group and accommodate everybody's interests is really important. It also allows us to practice some of the group dynamics of using WhatsApp to send instructions and meet back up. So later on in the evening, part of the Ballarat trip was to go out for a meal, and that was at a Vietnamese restaurant. Each step is about replicating something that they will experience in Singapore. In this case, it's sitting down in a sit-down restaurant with a menu next to their peers, choosing what dish they might like. Just supporting our young people to understand that these challenges are all things that they can navigate. My favourite part of the trip is seeing the young people arrive at the hotel and seeing their reactions. We're very lucky that we work in collaboration with the RACV, and that allows us to go to an amazing hotel that is really luxurious and stay the night. But it also plays a really important part of the trip. When we take young people overseas, there's lots of new experiences. As I said before, the culture's new, the food can be new, lots of unknowns. Maybe they haven't been abroad before. And what we want to do is we want to limit the amount of unknowns that they experience on that trip. So one way we can do that is we bring them to this hotel and they get to experience checking in. What does that entail? How long does that take? What happens when key cards don't work? Who do you reach out to? We also practice communicating through WhatsApp if needed. And again, I think if I had to single out my most kind of memorable moments, it always seems to be around breakfast. The young people arrive, you talk them through how do you go and access the breakfast cart. You go and give your room number, and then when you walk in, what can you have? Oh, you can have the whole array of breakfast buffet. And if you want to use the pancake machine, you can use that. And we can try and book in these amazing activities. I consistently think the breakfast at the hotel trumps all the other activities we organise. A key part of this is making the young people familiar with as much as possible before they go to a really unfamiliar place. And that means forging friendships. And that whenever we tell somebody they're coming on the Singapore trip, they always ask about rooms. Do you know, who am I rooming with? What if I don't know anybody? What if I don't get on with people on there? And we explain that like we're a group, we navigate those as a group. They're skills that we can develop. And this is really the crucial part of the Ballarat trip, is they get to spend time doing things with each other. And the second part of that is forging connections with the staff. We're a whole team, that's how I like to say that, like, we're all responsible for having a good, safe time in Singapore. And there are lots of staff that are not familiar with certain young people because they work at different campuses. So getting to experience this together as a group, doing different activities, really helps us form this strong connection that lasts into Singapore.